And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Welcome to Alaska Weather. I'm meteorologist Peter Chan, coming to you from the National Weather Service in Alaska region on this Tuesday, May 28th. And if you'd like additional weather information on top of what you get in this YouTube video, you can go to weather.gov. That is the National Weather Service's online presence. It'll bring you to a map of a continental United States, where if you point and click anywhere on this map or on these tabs for the territories in Hawaii and Alaska, it'll bring up a very specific forecast with any relevant watches, warnings, or advisories. And on the map this Tuesday afternoon, the most notable weather, we have the threat of severe weather again, severe thunderstorm watches, tornado watches from southeast Colorado, southwest Kansas, down through eastern New Mexico and west Texas. Areas of heat advisories in the far southern part of Texas, and then a frost advisory in the Arrowhead region of Minnesota. Here in Alaska, we continue to experience some minor flooding along the Porcupine River in the vicinity of Fort Yukon. There was a lot of snowmelt runoff occurring from further up the Porcupine River from out of Canada there in the upper Yukon, and then as that's worked its way on down the system, it's created higher water levels. Some of the sloughs and lowlands there along the Porcupine River will continue to experience some minor flooding through the middle of this week. Good news, water levels have been receding over this holiday weekend across the lower Yukon and the Yukon Delta, so the threat of ice jam flooding has ended there for places like Emonic. And so again, improving conditions there down along the lower Yukon. Of note for sky watchers, the noctilucent cloud season begins inside the Arctic Circle. Satellites have already picked up some of these clouds forming inside the Arctic Circle over northern Europe, and they will tend to expand southward at times through the early summer. I'll highlight when I think our best chance for seeing any of these noctilucent clouds in Alaska will be, because one of our problems right now is that we're just simply gaining too much daylight, and the nighttime is shrinking away, and there's a number of factors that come into play that allow those to be visible, which is rather doubtful as we go through the solstice, at least early in the summer here. Overall, cooler and wetter than normal. Early June weather is expected, especially across southern and southeastern parts of Alaska, as June will be arriving this coming weekend. Quick look at a couple of the FAA webcams. Fort Yukon, partly sunny, 63 degrees. You can see the leaves and the deciduous trees, the birch coming out against the backdrop of the darker black spruce. And then down there in Cape Spencer, we have mostly sunny skies there in the outer Panhandle with 54 degrees, a beautiful day there. Other areas of the Panhandle are still seeing some lingering scattered light rain showers. And overall, areas along the Gulf Coast and across the Panhandle will continue to be occasionally wet as we head into early June. Now, a quick check of the river breakup map. The only flood warning we have here is for the Porcupine River at Fort Yukon. And again, minor flooding will continue through midweek, through at least Wednesday, maybe into Thursday, before water levels begin to fall later this week and over the upcoming weekend. Otherwise, the major river systems south of the Brooks Range are all reporting open water for the most part. In the far north, the Sag River has also opened up pretty good. The Colville River, though, further west, still has a lot of ice on it, and that, as is typically the case, one of the last ones to go. Fire danger has crept up, and for tomorrow, the outlook, given some drier conditions, warmer temperatures, we find very high fire danger along areas of the middle upper Yukon. Before I think some rain showers will be moving into this region Wednesday night into Thursday and put a damper on that fire danger threat. But overall, the fire season has been off to a slow start, simply because it's been fairly wet and we just haven't had the warm, dry, windy weather or the thunderstorms yet become the primary igniters from lightning strikes. So when it comes to noctilucent clouds, the noctilucent cloud season here in the northern hemisphere is underway. The first detectable clouds by satellite began showing up around May 26th inside of the Arctic Circle in northern Europe. I took this image of incredible display of noctilucent clouds last July when I was flying to the Midwest, and this was over southeast Alaska looking northward toward the Yukon territory. Limited viewing in Alaska. I think the best time, because of the sun angle required and amount of daylight, is late July into early August is the best time to observe and photograph noctilucent clouds, at least from the ground in Alaska. Now, if you're in an airplane, you have definitely an advantage. They are the Earth's highest clouds. They form some 50 miles above the surface, and they're composed primarily of meteor dust and traces, faint, minute traces of water vapor, but they have this beautiful electric blue appearance to them, and they require that the sun be down at least 18 degrees below the horizon is the kind of the sweet spot. And if we look here, I should say 12 to 18 degrees below the horizon. And if you look here, they're way above the normal clouds. These were some stratocumulus clouds and a few cumulonimbus clouds from some thunderheads there that were up along the Alcan border at the time of this photograph. Looking at the satellite imagery, we have an area of low pressure sitting and spinning here just off of the west-southwest coast of the Panhandle, west of Haida Gwaii. We have another low sitting here near and just north of Unalaska with a little front extending eastward from it, little wave working its way westward with clouds and some rain and rain showers that'll spread into the Anchorage Bowl and the Mat-Su Valley tonight and linger into early Wednesday morning. Scattering of some showers and thunder showers that extend back from areas of the eastern interior back, especially here in the northwest Canada. And then there's another low that's way out, still southwest of the Aleutians, and a cold pocket low that's pushed its way into eastern Russia, and that'll kind of continue to drift westward and not have an impact on Alaska weather, at least the rest of this week. So here's the satellite imagery. We have that one low just to the southwest of the Panhandle. Here's the primary low, but not a very strong system. It'll continue to just sit and spin and weaken here tonight into Tuesday, with this front pushing a little further eastward. And by the time we get into late tonight, early on Wednesday morning, there's just a very weak secondary low. We continue to see kind of a thermal trough that sits here across the interior back into northwest Canada, and on Wednesday afternoon we expect that trough to be a focus for a few scattered showers and thunder showers to pop up, flare up again with the daytime heating, late afternoon, evening hours. And this troughiness, what was a frontal boundary, will have some bands of rain or rain showers with it, but not an especially strong system. And then Thursday, another low taking shape that's going to be lifting northward, and this is going to bring a better round of some showers along the Gulf Coast into the Panhandle for the weekend. And there is a stronger low, 969 millibar low, just west-southwest there of Shemya, way out in the western Aleutians. That'll be the next weather system to work its way eastward through the Aleutians. So in the meantime, through midweek, we're expecting temperatures to stay on the milder side, typically above freezing now, above 40 in most cases. Maybe dipping just below that up the Copper River Basin. Any sunshine, get your temperatures back up above 60, perhaps 62 at Skagway, but staying in the 50s generally throughout the central southern Panhandle. Maybe Anchorage flirting with 60 degrees, but there is going to be some cloud cover and rain in the morning, so that might be pushing it. Other side of the Alaska range, where there'll be some sunshine, 67 at McGrath. And similar lows Thursday morning, generally above 40 degrees in all areas, low mid-40s common for this time of year. And then high temperatures Thursday afternoon, still generally in the 50s here throughout the central and southern Panhandle, mid-upper 50s at best, perhaps 63 there, Skagway, Haines, and then some 60-degree readings just around or above that at Gulkana, Glen Ellen, as well as Talkeetna, and staying generally in the 50s across the Seward Peninsula. For the central and northern portions of the state, the interior, as is the case as you go to the middle upper Yukon Valley and the Tanana Valley, temperatures generally stay above 40 degrees, and we could start with any sunshine temperatures easily could get back up to near 70 in the Yukon Flats and down around Tanana and Anana. Areas even out toward Nome flirting with 60, at least upwards of 59. Coolest readings will be along the Arctic coast, mid-30s above freezing, mid-30s there, Savunga. And then for Thursday morning, low temperatures stay in the 40s along the Yukon, Tanana valleys, a little below freezing along the Arctic coast, Chukchi Sea coastline to near freezing there from Wales down to Savunga. And then temperatures Thursday afternoon, I do expect maybe a few more showers in this area with highs anywhere from low to mid 60s, perhaps a few upper 60s to near 70 back toward Fort Yukon. And the southwest interior, we're looking at lows even going up the Yukon and Kuskokwim rivers, generally staying above 40 with the exception of right along The immediate coastline, Imanik down to Makoriak, lows mid-30s, same thing there, 34, 35. St. Paul, generally around or just above 40 from Dutch Harbor on up along the Alaska Peninsula. And then temperatures Wednesday afternoon, 67 McGrath. You're going to see readings 56 or so around Bethel, even 59 Imanik. 39 though over at St. Paul. And temperatures Thursday morning will be above freezing across the region. The coolest readings of 32 up there at Savunga, 34 at St. Paul. And afternoon highs generally getting back up into the 50s here across the southwest interior, and generally in the 40s to maybe near 50s to trail out along the Alaska Peninsula into the eastern Aleutians. And a quick check of the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook here for the start of June, that first week, June 3rd through the 7th. There's a pretty good likelihood temperatures are going to average below normal over the southeast mainland and especially the panhandle, partially because the pattern's going to bring in more moisture and rain or rain showers, so that's going to keep temperatures down. And also out in the far west, perhaps the outer Yukon Delta, including St. Lawrence down through Nunavik Island, and then areas as we tail out along the Alaska Peninsula into the Aleutians. Temperatures out through this way should also average below normal. Precipitation overall should average above normal over the southeastern quadrant of the mainland in through the panhandle in this period, so expect some rounds of rain or rain showers. Could even be some isolated thunder at times, but definitely could be a little wetter period at times coming up through the Copper River Basin, Wrangell, St. Elias Mountains, over the Alaska Range into the middle upper Yukon Valley and certainly the Tanana Valley. So that's the way things are shaping out to start out the beginning of June.